Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly thankful that you join us on this week because we know God got some exciting coaching tips just for you. I believe that everybody in life needs a coach. And the coach's job is to coach the potential that's already in you, out of you, so you can live your best life now. Want to encourage you to let others know about Action Coaching so that they can join us each and every week for these exciting coaching tips. And I do realize that we don't have enough time in the few short minutes that we're on Action Coaching to get in depth about everything, but we try to give you some high points that you can begin to put in practice and help you evolve better in your life. Of course, you can reach out to us via social media, and if you got any questions or anything you would love for us to spend a coaching session on, then we are more than willing to do that. We want to hear from you. We want to know how Action Coaching is helping you. And certainly it would bless us, and I know it would bless you as we talk more and more about these different points in life. This week, I want to talk about mentorship. Now, everybody needs a mentor. Now, I'm not trying to tell you who to pick for your mentor, but I want to help you understand everybody in life needs mentorship. A lot of times when you hear successful people get to a certain level, they'll constantly refer back to how a particular coach or a particular person took time and instructed them and guided them. And as a result of that, they're able to achieve great things in their life. Now, I know we're kind of living in an age where so many people say, I'm going to do everything by myself. That's not going to happen. You need a mentor. In life, you need a mentor to guide you. You need a mentor to just simply help you figure out some things that are consistent in everyone that is going to encounter. And so people need to understand that it is necessary that you have a mentor or a guide so that you can experience the fullness out of what you've been created to do. Now I want to talk a couple of points about how do you know how to find a mentor, or how do you know when you got the right mentor? Well, the right mentorship, But let me explain this point first. Now, let's talk about what the job is of a mentor. Now, the mentor is not a person that's trying to change you from being you. And a mentor is certainly not trying to create you in his image. Those are wrong things to do. You got to be who you are. You got to be the best person you can be. But however, a mentor can be the person that help you with practical, consistent things to help you be a better you. Because after all in life, God created us in such a way that he only made one of us. That's why when they check your fingerprints, they're not worried about getting somebody else's fingerprints. They know that everybody's fingerprints are unique. And that's the way God made us. All of us are unique in life. And so many times people come into resistance because most of the time people take mentorship as trying to make somebody like them. And you're trying to create a clone of yourself or a clone of herself. Nobody is just alike. What you have to do in mentorship is take that person's gifts and talents, allow them to uniquely be who they are, and show them the basic principles that they need to go as to how they can achieve even greater things in their life. A father is teaching a son, and the son will one day be a father, but the son may not be the same father, same way that I was a father, he'll probably be better. He'll probably be experiencing better things. His son will come along enjoying things that even he didn't enjoy. And sure enough, I didn't get to enjoy. But if I try to keep telling him that he got to be a father the same way I was in my day, pretty much that's going to drive him away. But I can teach him some basic things as to that apply to being a father. Things that I've learned. I was taught before I was ever a father. Always be there for your kids. I understood that it wasn't so much that my kids needed a whole lot of toys and things, though they had that. But one thing I did not want my kids to have, that if they were engaged in anything, they could always look up and say, my father is there. Why is that so important? Because now they can understand how God is our father, that he's always there. But physically they know they had a father that's always there. So a mentor functions in a job that he's always or she's always there to give the basic things, but they're not there to make that person a clone. Everybody got to function in different ages. What was good when I was younger is totally different now. But they operate different. I mean, think about it. And some of us have. When we were younger, there was no such thing as cell phones. There was no such thing as social media at that particular time. So we were not accustomed to that. To an age where our kids got all these things. To sit there and say, well, you ought not use that. We didn't have it. You ought to do this, that, and other. That's bad mentorship. What you want to do is guide, nourish, help them fulfill their own potential, help them to understand the basic tenets of how to live life, or to be married, or to be in a business. So, first job is a mentor is not there to make a person in their own. Mentor does not want to do is he don't want to think his way is always the right way. The issue is you're there to mentor, to offer advice where you see that the advice will help them. However you understand the person that you're being a mentor to, make their own decision based on the information they have. Is school teach you about a lot of different things. You know, you ever notice when you go to school, you got to take math, you got to take so many different things. And all of these are just simply guidelines to help you know that when you need math, you got some knowledge of math. Or when you need English, you got some knowledge. It's not to make you into the image or the English book, the math book. So mentor must understand that, and everybody has to have a mentor. Nobody is going to make it out. mentor you will help you further in. I don't want you to go anywhere to talk to you. Welcome back. I left off talking about the first part of what a mentor should do, so when you're looking for one, you got some directions. Now the second thing a mentor must do is listen. Be able to hear the mentee out and not think that every idea is a bad idea because it does not fit my idea at that particular time. The mentee is there to guide them how to best handle their idea, how to get the maximum out of their idea, how that they can expand their idea, because I believe that everything fits a generation. And see, the principles will remain the same, but the method of getting them done will not necessarily remain the same. For instance, when we look at some of the movies, maybe they do a Western. Well, during that day, everybody traveled, they used a horse, or the horse would pull in the wagon. And as a result of that, that's the way they traveled. That's the way they knew to travel, or they walk when they travel. That's what they knew. But then as time began to advance, train come across. That's here in, but is so do it the best way to do it in their generation. And so the mentee say, you got an idea. Yes, you do your research. Yes, you do certain things to make sure that the idea you had is fruitful, and therefore you can benefit from it in the time that you're going to do it. So that is important. Most people that are trying to mentor someone do not listen at all because they got their way, and sometimes your way does not fit the generation or the time that they're in. So that is important. You've got to be willing to listen. And just because you're mentoring, that don't mean you got to talk all of the time. You know, the scripture lets us know. It says, be swift to hear and slow to speak. In other words, if you hear more, then you'll know how to guide a person. Have you ever ran into someone who's supposed to be mentoring you, but they never shut up? They talking all of the time. Even before you can get an idea out, they already crushing it or saying that won't work and all of that. No, a mentee must be a person that listens. when I counsel so many people, first thing I want to do is listen and then ask questions. How do you think you should work this out? And I'll be there to suggest, well, maybe if you use this principle, you'll arrive to the conclusion that you want to, because it is important in mentoring an individual. So that's the second thing. You got to be willing to listen. And the third thing as being a mentor is you got to know when it's time to let go. If you do it right, then the person will grow up and develop. They're not acting upon you advice. On everything. Learn how to make decisions. They own and develop. So you have to learn when to let go of that teaching mode and it becomes this advice mode. Not so much that when I moved out of my parents' home, certain things I learned that didn't necessarily for me to do. But things that taught me about having my own home, things that I learned and developed. But thank God that when perhaps I was having a problem at home or learning how to do something, of course, like washing clothes and certain things we didn't have to do, then they were there to just simply offer advice and instruct. So you got to learn when to let go. Nobody is going to be mentored all of their life. It comes a point where they got to work it out themselves based on the training they have. But a mentor has to learn when to let go, when to understand that the job is complete and that they are now ready to go on their own. You can't keep interfering and trying to run something your own way. You got to let it go. Move to the next person. There are other people that need to be mentored, but you got to let them work some things out themselves. After all, it's going to be better for their development. It's going to be better for yours. And both of us will always appreciate others because they realize I was there to help them, but also I understood it's a time that need to let go and let them kind of work it out on their own. It's important today we're living in that so many people need mentors. I am grateful for all of the mentors that God sent in my life that helped me evolve into the person that I am today. Things like telling me how to handle different situations. Now, every situation wasn't the exact same, but they were teaching me how to handle different situations. You know, when I was growing up, my father was working at a boys club at that particular time. And one thing I'm thankful about the boys club is that it taught you how to do a lot of things that you normally wouldn't have known. And there were many of the older guys that were mentoring us younger guys, and we learned real quick. Things like, if we're riding the bus downtown, how do we need to ride the bus downtown? Then we learned things like, don't go with somebody else just because they're telling you they got something better. With certain questions, certain things, you want to put yourself in position. All this came from mentoring. They weren't talking to us about the same thing. They realized that you have to let go. Now, I want to encourage those of you who may be mentoring someone, maybe trying to mentor someone. And of course, as questions, do I let go? I instruct them in a way that they can go and not be overbearing. How do I learn to draw back, let them experience some things on their own, or let them come ask the questions without me being in a position of demanding that they ask something? Trust me, it's going to work out. It's going to be for their betterment and yours, because there's great satisfaction in helping to instruct a younger generation to be better. My daddy used to always have a quote that he would tell us. He said his job was not for his sons to start where he started, but his job was for his sons to start where he left off. In mentoring an individual, you don't want them to have to start where you started. You want them to start further down the line where you left off, so that they can experience even more of what you experienced come along. So everyone needs a mentor. The Bible is full of stories about how different prophets, even Jesus himself, had 12 disciples, and he mentored them and taught them a whole lot of things. He prepared them for what they should do when he was gone. But however, after he was gone, he didn't just always come back and instruct them to do this and that. He trained them so that they could move on their own. I'm excited about this time that we're living in. I'm excited that more and more people who want to be great, they often talk about how they went to certain individuals and asked them to mentor them, to teach them different principles so that they can apply it to their own life. I would love to hear from you. Perhaps you're mentoring someone. Perhaps you may have a question concerning that. Perhaps you did it all the wrong way and said, how do I fix it? But we would love for you to hear from you. We'd love for you to reach out to me and let me answer some questions for you, show you how you can do it better and better. Because if we don't help the next generation, how are they going to make it? Don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on today for Action Coaching. I trust that the things I've shared have been a blessing to you, and certainly I thank God for this glorious opportunity. I may not know everything, but I do know a lot of things that you shouldn't do, because I've tried them and they didn't work, and that can be an instruction to you. So I am grateful for this opportunity. I want to encourage you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. We want to expand it and make it bigger and better and be able to do more creative things. And so I'm excited about that. So I want you to sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to sow unto Action Coaching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for praying for us. And we want you to believe God that He's going to do even bigger and better things through us so we can reach so many more people with Action Coaching. Well, thank you for this opportunity to talk to you on today. And as I do each and every week, I want to encourage you. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.